Take a walk.
If James died in that fire, then what happened to his remains? He was never properly buried, and that is Jack's fault. A magnificent cathedral, but I would have been more than content with the old one, had it not been burned to the ground. Hello?
Oh.
I thought I saw someone. That came from the kitchen.
Oh, it's you.
You startled me.
I thought I heard something. Was that you?
No, but I heard it too. Maybe Aliena came back.
No. No, she's asleep. She returned a few hours ago. Damn it.
Jack.
Sorry. There's someone in the kitchen.
Yes, I think you're right.
Stay behind me. I'll go ahead. There's someone in here.
Oh shit, he's like fucking 2 meters away.
Outlaws. They are probably just after food. I will talk to them. All right.
As if they don't see you or hear you.
He's alone. There must have been others. Most of the food is gone.
Why are we still whispering?
We will not harm you. Do you hear me?
Wow.
Why did you do that, you animal? I will get the others.
No!
What?
He's just a child.
Just a child. Jack forgave the child, just like that. And I forgave him. For that was what he had been when he arrived in Kingsbridge. Just a child. Who was I to judge this man for not confessing earlier what he had done? I had never told his wife, Aliena, that I was responsible for her fate, and for her father's. Even that night, when we all met, I did not dare to tell her.
The walls of Kingsbridge weren't enough anymore. The outlaws had found a way in. We weren't safe in our homes.
So this is what it has come to. Kingsbridge is under attack.
Why didn't Uncle Richard chase them away? Why?
Now, do not exaggerate. This is not a siege.
We only saw 2 of them, and one of them was a child.
But they almost killed you.
These poor souls were starving. Many are forced to turn to thievery because of the drought.
A true Earl's duty should be to protect his people.
Yes, that would be nice. Let's ask William Hamley for help, shall we?
It's all too
Yeah,
easy to
that'll
blame
go well.
a desperate child. Forgiveness is much harder.
It is.
But forgive we must.
Can you? Forgive, I mean.
I already have.
Hamley is the reason for this. He's to blame. It's that simple.
Well, he won't be Earl for long. The Treaty of Wallingford has been signed at last. It's only a matter of time until things change.
What treaty? Winchester is in turmoil about this right now. Stephen and Maud have signed the treaty. Maud's son, Duke Henry, is to be crowned the next king.
And, by agreement, all lands are to be returned to their previous owners.
But Stephen will continue to rule as long as he lives.
The earldom will be ours again.
It will not.
Why the bloody hell not?
Bloody hell.
Language?
No one will enforce this until Stephen is dead.
What is to be done then?
We have to stay strong, steadfast. We only have to wait until Hamley is stripped of power, right?
That would take too long. Many more will starve or die by his sword.
Well, if they're hungry, can't we just give them something to eat? I'll share.
We should, and we will. But there are too many to feed them all.
We must do something.
Well, I cannot sit quietly and wait until Stephen dies of old age.
Yeah.
The Treaty of Wallingford is in place. I won't wait for another 17 years. Not when I'm so close to fulfilling the promise I made to my father.
You're right, but it wasn't William Hamley who came here last night. It's the outlaws we need to worry about.
Well, what do we do about it?
And outlaws against women. That actually sounds like a good idea.
Ha! You know, we could solve all our problems with one blow. We could either fight those outlaws, or we could make them fight for us.
Fight for you?
Right! We could make them attack William Hamley. And while they're busy killing each other, we can plan a surprise attack.
I won't have any of that.
What about his mother? I've heard that Hamley still listens to her, that she still has a say in Earl's Castle.
Yes, let's tell his mother.
If we spoke to Regan Hamley, we might not need a physical confrontation at all.
That'll never work. We have to assault them and take back our father's castle. Even if that means fighting alongside the outlaws.
I don't like either choice, to be honest.
Neither do I. So, what do you think, Alina?
I don't like Regan either.
I will talk to the outlaws. Maybe we can find someone who can speak on their behalf. And if there's no one, then we will.
I'll ride with you.
You won't, Cub. Not with that leg of yours.
Your mother is right. Besides, if we all turn up, they might think we mean them harm.
Our hopes of meeting allies on the road to Shiring were fading with every mile. The only people we saw were sitting by the side of the road, broken and starving. Shiring was riddled with death and despair. I'd heard that Wiggly had just been raided by outlaws, leaving them almost entirely without cattle. Maybe someone there knew where the raiders had come from. But Calford, on the other hand, had a recent falling out with William Hamley. There was a chance that they would be quick to join our resistance.
Alright, let's go there.
We entered the village. There was a weary young man trying to repair a roof. He pointed toward a ruined mill. Hamley's Mill, he called it, which used to have the right to grind all grain from the nearby villages. That was until a few days ago. Hamley had come to collect his share and, due to the famine, was met with empty coffers. Enraged, he'd killed the miller and had taken every last bag of flour belonging to the starving people of Calford. Many had fled into the forest, desperate for their lives. The fields of Huntley spurred fond memories. Here, I'd negotiated my first deal to transport and sell the farmer's wool. Now, the meadows had turned to straw, and the sheep were dead. Soon, we reached Uncle Simon's abandoned hut. Our horses needed rest, so we wanted to leave them there while we looked around on foot. Then, I remembered how Richard had been kicked by the man William had paid to catch us, and the horrible sounds he'd made lying there. Inside the hut, I was startled by a hunched figure hiding in a corner, nibbling on a lump of bread. Upon seeing us, the creature's eyes widened, like those of a frightened animal. I asked him where he got bread in times like these. Was it stolen? No, I got it from the butcher. The people at Sally's quarry told me to ask the butcher, he blurted out, startled by his own voice. Mistaking our interest for greed, he wolfed down the rest of the bread. Before we could ask more, the frightened man jumped up and fled into the forest. The butcher. Was he the one we were looking for? A leader whom the downtrodden trusted and feared? Maybe we could find him at the quarry the man had mentioned.
Alright, to the quarry.
The abandoned quarry was teeming with activity. Many poor souls were gathering around a fireplace, boiling a stew from meat and turnips. It was plain to see that these people weren't held together by blood or profession, but by hunger and desperation. And by their numbers, I thought, that could make them quite dangerous. Were these outlaws? We walked slowly towards them. I sensed that Richard was ready to draw his sword. The first one to notice us was a little girl. Swiftly pointing a finger at us, "Who are they?" she asked the others. All eyes darted towards us. Their reactions were as varied as their faces. Some looked afraid, curious, and confused. Others were full of hatred and contempt. "We're not here. Where can I find the butcher?" I asked. Their faces expressed anger and fear. I explained that we were looking for food. They told us that the butcher was still in Monksfield, but that meat would come every couple of days. I said that wouldn't be a problem, not knowing what they meant. It looked like our path would lead us back to Monksfield.
Okay. Well, I want to go here anyway.
Thank you for giving me and my friend shelter the other day.
Weather's fine now. So what do you want this time?
We're looking for the butcher.
The butcher of Monksfield has long since moved away.
Damn, I can't believe it.
No need for cursing, young man. If you bring me an animal, I can prepare it for you.
Do people call you the butcher then?
Why'd you ask? What do you want?
Do you have a lot of outlaws passing by?
You don't see it in their faces, dear. But we all have been failed by the law and our leaders. Don't you agree?
I asked because we feel the same way. And we're looking for a way to make things right again.
Is that so?
We're looking to build an army, to invade Earl's castle and kill Earl William Hamley.
Oh my. If it was that easy, someone would have done that a long time ago. The poor souls I meet, they're just simple people. They're not an army.
We would lead them.
I'm a knight. I know how to turn ordinary men into fighters.
In their condition, most of them can barely kill a chicken, let alone a man. These people are mothers, fathers, hard workers, yes, but they are not soldiers.
We'd reward them if they helped us.
You must know we are the rightful heirs to Earl Bartholomew of Shiring, and would show ourselves very generous.
So, you're just another pair of nobles who want to use us as pawns in their battle, to die for you.
It is the best chance we have. This is a battle for the sake of the people of Shiring, for all of us.
It's rubbish. It's what it is.
We are offering you a chance to rid the land of Hamley, to fight for your freedom.
The last time I saw you, you showed kindness toward that young woman who was with you. I am willing to listen to a good soul, but I won't help you blindly.
That woman that was here, that you helped, that was Hamley's wife. His wife, by God. How stupid do you think we are?
Right, it's a trap.
Well, how can these people put their life at risk if they do not trust you? You are not like us.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, I know what it's like to live in poverty.
And just like you, we had William Hamley to thank for it.
But I also know that if one fights the right battles, that things can change for the better.
But they're starving, my child. They are weakened by poverty, hunger, and illness. Who are you to think you can face William Hamley?
Yeah.
You! Who do you think you are?
We are the children of Bartholomew, Earl of Shiring.
Our father once ruled with a firm but benevolent hand. You must remember how good you had it.
Well, better than now, but that's easy.
He did have guts, though, trying to take on Stephen.
So, you are his daughter and son, you say?
Yes, all we know we learned from him.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Even if we work together, Hamley is too powerful.
You ask us to sacrifice our lives for your noble cause, these people will die.
We already have Kingsbridge on our side, including the bright mind of Prior Philip.
Oh, Philip of Kingsbridge. I have heard of him. A wise man, yes.
He took in the survivors of Hamley's raid of Earl's Castle.
Yes, and I was one of them.
He wouldn't let anybody go into certain death. Their plan must be a good plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does.
I said it before. We all have lost everything, except for our lives. We don't fight other people's battles.
But maybe this is our battle too.
My people will decide for themselves. But I will tell them that I believe that it is indeed a battle worth fighting.
I thank you.
I pray that it will be worth it.
We will all pray, and then we fight.
Yeah.
And so, after 17 years, I finally returned to the place I'd once called home. There was a small army of famished outlaws hiding in the surrounding woods, waiting for my signal to attack. Led by my vengeful brother, Richard. But I had to be sure that Elizabeth was safe. The poor girl who in my stead had been doomed to become William Hamley's wife.
Get in line and stay in line. You'll all get your chance to pay your dues to Lord Hamley, you hear? So no pushing.
Why would they?
Are you all right?
What do you think? Of course I'm all right. I'm more all right than anyone else in this crowd. Just because Lord Hamley insists on women to deliver the tributes, don't mean you have to send your youngest and prettiest. Fools.
Why does Lord Hamley need all that food? He's got more than enough.
Shut it, woman. Smear your face with dung and lower your head is the only way you get out of here alive. It's no coincidence that Hamley always asks for women to bring the tributes.
Is Lady Elizabeth home?
She is, and will be indefinitely. Don't want her to get lost in another storm. Patience, patience. Everyone will get a chance to pay their dues to Lord Hamley.
I'm just a shepherd's daughter. I have no business here.
Shut up!
Bloody beggars.
Calm yourself. I'll make sure that nothing will happen to you.
took a woman in my town. She never came back.
Nothing will happen to you if you just remain calm.
I want to go home.
Oi, you there.
Who?
Yes, I meant you. That's a pretty face you got there. You're coming
Who?
with me.
What? Leave her. Take me instead.
Well, whatever. You'll walk to the other side of the yard and talk to Walter. He'll get you settled. And don't you dare stray from the path.
Are you done yet?
Almost. Let me just see if I took enough. What are you doing here? You need to leave. Don't come any closer. William has me watched.
What's taking so long?
I forgot the pork. I'll be out shortly. Wait a moment, then follow me. We don't have much time. Hugh will look for me any moment now. So why did you come?
I'm waiting!
There's an army of outlaws hiding in the woods waiting for my signal. You need to be out of the way when they come.
But I mustn't leave.
They're very angry at your husband's family, and I want you to be safe.
Will people die?
Yes.
Yes, people will die. That's why you have to come with me.
Duh.
I can't. Not without Lady Regan.
Oh,
You need to
fuck
save
that
Lady
bitch.
Regan first.
Why do you care about Regan Hamley?
Oi! You still in there?
She and Walter have been the only kind souls here.
Walter? William's dog?
Don't call him that. He's not as bad as people say he is. William won't allow me to talk to him anymore. Now Lady Regan is all I have left. Please, you have to promise that she'll be safe.
Sure.
I will, if you agree to leave right now.
Is that a promise?
It is.
All right, I will try to sneak off then.
Hurry up in there! Or do you want me to come in and pull you out?
I need to go.
Thank the Lord she made it through. Now, I have to find Regan Hamley.
I think I saw Walter up the wall.
Elizabeth claims you aren't such a bad person after all.
Am I not? Have you forgotten that I killed your family's steward?
You got problems over there, Walter?
I need to talk to the Lady Hamley. I want you to take me to her.
You've got guts, I'll give you that. But why should I listen to you?
have a heart.
So, you think I'm a nice bloke? And you think Lady Hamley really cares for someone like you? Don't make me laugh. Hugh! What?
If you help me, we might be able to prevent a bloodbath. Let us end this in peace.
I don't believe you. But it's not up to me to judge these things. I'll take you to Lady Hamley. She'll decide.
Woo! Ooh.
My lady?
Elizabeth.
She's not here, but there's someone else to see you. The Lady Aliena of Shiring.
The Lady Aliena. When did that bitch become nobility again?
I'm sorry for intruding, but this is very important.
Important? As if anything you have to say could be of any importance to me.
I'm certain you've heard about the treaty the king made with Duke Henry at Wallingford Castle.
I have. I have also heard that it's a muddled mess.
It is a complicated deal indeed, but one that will end the war. And one that makes my family the rightful owners of this earldom once more.
Only by word. There's no one who would come to enforce this, not even the king.
Don't you see what your son is doing to the land? Soon there won't be an earldom left to rule for anyone.
That's a lie. My William is a better earl than your father ever was.
God,
to think that I once wanted to marry my good William into a family like yours. Not a day goes by when I am not glad that God saved us from that horrible fate. Where is my Elizabeth? Why is she not here?
Why do you care so much about that poor girl?
She is family. That is the way I would have cared for you, if you had not spat into my face.
No. You know what kind of man your son is, and because of that, you want to protect her.
My son is a good man.
I promised your son's wife that I'd make certain you'd be safe.
Safe from what? From a pack of impotent monks?
I have an army outside the gates, ready to attack.
What?
Get Elizabeth. I want her at my side when the fighting starts.
She's gone.
Gone? What do you mean? Gone where?
I told her to leave Earl's Castle. She suffered enough under your son.
William didn't lay a finger on her.
He did. More than once, milady.
That is a lie.
It's up to you if this ends in a bloodbath or not.
Oh!
It's all up to you.
In the name of the true Earl of Shiring, make them supper!
They're coming.
Mother? Mother, we're being attacked. What's going on here? What's that bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
She's trying to take everything.
Is she? Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
Ah! Fuck's sake. I got
In the name
stabbed.
of the true Earl of Shiring, make them supper!
They're coming.
Mother? Mother?
What's going on here? What's that bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
She's trying to take everything.
Is she? Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
Oh. Alright, we can't do that either.
In the name of the true Earl of Shiring, make them suffer!
Skip.
That.
Skip.
Mother.
Skip.
Mother.
What's going on here? What's that bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
Skip!
She's trying to take everything.
Is she? Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
Cut that whore up, Walter!
No. You brought this on yourself.
You bloody traitor! Someone get up here! Men! You will pay. You will all pay for this.
Yay! Yay!
Now, we tell his men.
Stop! Stop fighting! Drop your weapons immediately!
Behold the banner of the new Earl of Shiring!
Everyone, listen! Lord Hamley is dead! The castle now belongs to the former Earl's family again.
What? You're shitting us!
It was the King's wish.
Who killed him?
He died because he refused to hand over Earl's Castle peacefully.
He knew that the king was about to take the earldom away from him. To avoid punishment, he took his own life. My name is Lady Aliena of Shiring. I'm the daughter of Bartholomew, the former Earl of these lands. I've been tasked to end the tyranny of William Hamley and restore order to Shiring.
Every attack on us is sanctioned by the King of the English.
So what will happen to us then? I shall tell the king that William Hamley forced you to do his bidding. That every atrocity done to the people of Shiring was his doing and his alone.
What? These bastards need to be hanged!
No one needs to play a part in the things to come. You can freely choose if you want to stay or leave.
But they're bloody monsters!
You can't just let them walk free!
Ali, I know that you're a much better leader than I. Without you, we would never have come this far. You never hesitated with swearing and fulfilling the oath to father. In the end, I will be the Earl in name only.
but you shall be the true ruler of Shiring.
Don't say that. We'll do it together.
Let's discuss this later. I owe you a lot, Annie.
The tyranny of William Hamley is over! The earldom of Shiring belongs to its rightful heir!
Yay!
Send a messenger to Kingsbridge to let Prior Philip know that Shiring is finally free!
What is it? Why are they laughing?
You can send a messenger if you want, but there won't be much of a prior left when he arrives.
Ali, what's going on?
What is going on?
The Pope believes we should either burn him or make him Bishop of Kingsbridge.
I have already taken matters into my own hands. My men arrested him while Kingsbridge was left unguarded.
While his friends took Earl's Castle.
Yes.
At least in his death, William Hamley was of use to you.
God dang it. The Earned.
Look at all these people. Seems like they're enjoying themselves.
They never change. You drooling dogs should be ashamed!
Shut up, you old hag! Ellen?
I'm not feeling well.
I'll take care of you. You two go ahead. Hurry up!
Is your mother ill?
It's not that. This is where they hanged my father.
The trial begins. The judges. Brother of Stephen, King of the English. The Right Reverend Bishop Henry of Winchester. Her Highness, the Countess Lady Aliena of Shiring. Presiding over the trial, the Right Reverend Bishop of Shiring and Kingsbridge, Waileron Bygod.
Please. The Church is not without fault. We have gathered here today before the eyes of God to accuse one of our own. He wrote in his book that the Church and the papacy are not necessary as intercessors between God and man. That God is in man. That all men are equal. And that each sinner is as close to our Lord as the Pope himself. Now, we ask God for his judgment. For his is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Not ours, and not yours. You stand accused of heresy. Philip of Gwynedd, how do you plead? Answer!
I am not guilty.
Your teachings speak another language. Guilty, I say.
I am deeply saddened. It may come as a surprise to you, but we had hoped to make you Bishop of Kingsbridge. Why has it come to this, Philip?
In part, I am to blame. I supported Philip in his early years. I demand that Philip be removed from his position of prior immediately.
No!
And that he remain in captivity until such time that Shiring and all of England have healed from the poisonous words he has dispersed.
No!
What? Yes?
In what way exactly are Philip's teachings heretical?
Philip of Gwynedd has said that each of us is in part of a godly nature, for God has made us in his image. Therefore, he claims that none of us, not he, not the bishops, not even the Pope, is closer to God than any other man or woman.
Heresy! Christ made his apostle Peter his first pope. He and us, his church, hold the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Yes! The Bible also tells us, let a man be known by his actions. Philip made Kingsbridge into a prosperous place for its people and for the church you claim he disrespects.
That is true, Lady Aliena.
Yes. Let a man be known by his actions. Call in Remigius.
The Prior of Shiring, Father Remigius.
My bishop.
Tell the court, Remigius, what you have told me.
For many years, I served as sub-prior of Kingsbridge. First for Prior James, then for the accused.
What was your first impression of him?
I was offended by his bluntness and accusations during the chapter discussions.
What else?
Prior Philip did not hesitate to give refuge to the people fleeing Earl's Castle in the winter that our king died.
Is that not a good deed? A true Christian act?
You do not know him as well as you think you do, Lady Aliena. Today, that will change.
The future master builder of our cathedral and his woman were among those taking refuge. They were living in sin. They were unmarried and fornicating. Philip allowed them to stay.
Why would he do that?
I do not know, my bishop.
Maybe because he himself was involved in similar affairs. We will see.
Then, on the day of our first Fleece Fair, we were attacked.
I heard. It was terrible.
I tried to soothe the woman's pain by reading the scripture to her. The builder's woman I have spoken of tried to put a spell on her with poisonous herbs.
And Philip intervened?
Yes. He pushed me aside and gave the woman poison.
It is worse than I thought.
It was no poison.
And then there was the day the Virgin Mary's statue arrived in Kingsbridge. I did not believe it was a miracle.
Clearly, it is a miracle. I hear of many who were healed in Kingsbridge.
Yes! Amen! Oh, Mary, bless us all! Well, I soon realized it was a true miracle, but Philip did not. He was only after the money people donated at the Virgin Shrine. That is why I left. He had to. Amen.
I believe there is one more thing you have not told us about. Something very important.
Yes. Philip has fathered a child.
What?
A son. And he raised him in the priory.
He is guilty.
Jonathan of Kingsbridge, step forward.
This is preposterous.
Is it?
Is this true? Are you Philip's son? Answer the question, Jonathan of Kingsbridge.
I have no father.
Everyone has a father.
That may be. But if Philip was my father, he would have told me.
How do you know he did not lie to you?
Speak. Answer the bishop.
Philip would never lie. He told me that I was found in the woods.
In the woods? Is this true, Philip? Or are you lying? Well, you told the story so many times.
My brother found him.
Your brother? The brother whose master you betrayed?
What are you talking about?
Philip tried to involve me in a conspiracy against his brother's master, Earl Robert of Gloucester. And his ally, Earl Bartholomew, your father, Lady Aliena. Philip took in all those refugees years ago because he was to blame for their fate. As he was for yours when you lost your father and your earldom. That, Lady Aliena, is the man you are trying to protect. Well?
I know that he is a troubled man. We've all had to make hard decisions. Decisions that seemed right at the time. When indeed, they were terrible mistakes. I am thankful that I was forgiven when I made a mistake. Now I forgive him. Let us now return to the problem at hand. There is a man who witnessed how Jonathan was found in the forest. A man who can shed light on who Jonathan's father really is.
And who is that?
My husband.
Step forward. What is your name?
He is the master builder of Kingsbridge.
Have you lost your courage?
No, I have not. You know well why it would be hard for me to face you. They call me Jack, after my father. My name is Jack Jackson.
Yes, we have met before.
How old were you when you allegedly saw Jonathan as a child in the woods?
12. But I know what I saw. Philip told the truth.
You were a child. And what were you doing there, in the woods?
I was living in the forest, with my mother.
They were outlaws.
Friar Remigius is the most trustworthy witness we've seen today, and his statement was quite damning to Philip. The distant memories of an outlaw child cannot convince me otherwise.
Father, the child!
Let him go!
He would never do that!
And yet, Lady Aliena is right. We do not know enough to judge him as harshly as you proposed, Bishop Waleran.
You are right, Bishop Henry. As I said, it is not up to us to judge this man. Philip of Gwynedd has pleaded innocent, but how innocent is he? We ask God for his judgment. As Bishop of Kingsbridge and Shiring, I demand an ordeal by fire.
This is madness!
Philip of Gwynedd will be tried and judged at the stake. If he is innocent, God will save him from the flames. If he is not, then he will burn as the heretic and sinner God has declared him to be.
No!
Can we just set you on fire instead?
Waleran, by God! Not this time.
It's her.
I saw the child and Francis. I was there. Philip is not the child's father. He is a fool, but he is a good man.
Then, who is the father?
It is me.
They are all in this together. This woman is a witch and an outlaw, living in sin with a thief. He was hanged in Shiring 30 years ago.
He was not a thief. He was a good man. You've murdered him, Waleran, by God.
What is this nonsense?
He was a thief. He stole a golden chalice and melted it down and sold it.
What chalice?
The chalice of the Eucharist. He stole it from the Cathedral of Kingsbridge.
Sacrilege.
Yes, Friar James of Kingsbridge caught him red-handed.
Is that the chalice? You said it was melted down and sold.
Fall not for their lies. That could be any chalice. This does not prove a thing.
Where did you find this chalice?
In a secret chamber. We believe Prior James hid it because he felt guilty for falsely accusing Jack's father.
What proof do you have?
He told me. The night the cathedral burned down, I was there, I saw him.
Prior James died weeks before that.
No, he did not.
Bishop Henry, he speaks the truth.
Order! I will give you until sunset to produce a witness who can prove your accusations against Bishop Waleran. Not just this chalice. If you fail to do this, I will make sure you are tried for defamation. Philip of Gwynedd, you will stay under arrest.
Yeah, how do we find
the trial
a witness?
recommences at sunset.
We need a witness.
What are you doing there?
I've seen you draw up plans for a cathedral. Maybe we can do something similar to find our witness. Let's see. Your father.
He looks just like you.
My grandmother said he did.
And Bishop Waleran. What are the connections? Maybe, by exploring them, we can find a witness.
Good idea.
Bishop Waleran is at the center of all this. Jack's father. If he was still with us, he could be our witness.
Maybe he still can. Mother says Waleran was behind my father's death.
And she said he wasn't alone. There were 3 men responsible for your father's death. Bishop Waleran, Percy Hamley, back then he was the Sheriff of Shiring, and Prior James of Kingsbridge.
If they were all there, then they were all witnesses.
They're all
only
dead.
Waleran's still
Except for
alive.
Waleran.
Hardly a coincidence. Why would these 3 men work together to falsely accuse your father?
He was on the White Ship. No one survived that night. No one lived to tell the story.
Yes. He was the sole survivor.
And then they killed him. But why?
My father wanted to go to England. He was the only one who made it when the White Ship sank.
Why would Waleran, Percy, and James be concerned about the White Ship?
The son and heir of King Henry was on board. So were other possible heirs and other members of the royal household. I heard that Stephen was supposed to be on the ship as well, but became ill. He was the only male heir. The only threats were the king's daughter Maud and her half-brother Earl Robert, and they've been at war ever since.
And your father, Earl Bartholomew. He was a threat. He tried to stop Stephen and paid for that with his life. Maybe my father saw something on the White Ship. Proof that Stephen was involved.
What about the king?
Stephen always claimed that it had been God's will that he was not on that ship. That he remained as the only male heir.
That wasn't God. I bet Stephen had a hand in the sinking of the ship.
Now imagine what would have happened if he had learned that someone survived. Someone who might have seen what really happened that night.
William Hamley's father?
Waleran, Percy, and James might have been working for those who sunk the White Ship.
Now, what about Prior James?
The 3 people who murdered my father might have worked for someone else. Someone who had an interest in drowning the king's heirs. If Stephen was responsible for the sinking of the White Ship, then he may have wanted the only witness of what really happened to disappear.
But he wouldn't have done it himself, of course.
No. I wonder if my father ever learned why he was killed.
If the White Ship is involved, then it's likely that Waleran was told by King Stephen to murder your father.
But he was not king back then. Why would Waleran listen to him?
He was promised to become bishop.
Of course.
Remember, Bishop Henry is Stephen's brother, and back then he was already one of the most influential clerics in all of England.
But if Bishop Henry is in on all this, what chance do we have to turn this trial around?
It is a public trial. All we want is for Philip to go free. We find a witness to expose Waleran. Henry would have to play along to appear innocent.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
It's our best shot. Percy Hamley was the Sheriff of Shiring. Well, he could have ordered your father to be hanged.
But he was arrested and held in Kingsbridge first. Prior James claimed that my father had committed theft. James was the prior of Kingsbridge.
That's where they say your father stole the chalice, melted it and sold it.
But we know that's not true.
As we found it, Philip recognized the chalice.
But Bishop Henry wants a witness. The chalice isn't enough.
But it's an important lead for us.
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it. But instead, James himself hid it in Kingsbridge, in the crypt.
We found his scourge in a bed down there.
What about that?
That secret chamber is important. Everyone thought Prior James was dead, that he broke into the ice. And now we know he was hidden away.
Why did his monks believe he was dead?
Sub-Prior Remigius told everyone he had found James' rosary by the river. So everyone thought the body had been washed away. They buried an empty casket.
But how is Remigius involved?
Philip told me that Remigius was there when Waleran made Philip prior. Waleran and Remigius knew each other.
That explains why Waleran later made Remigius prior of Shiring.
And Remigius recognized my mother when we arrived in Kingsbridge. He must have been there at the time my father was arrested. I think Remigius knows all about this.
Is it possible that Waleran told Remigius to make Prior James disappear when James began to talk about what they'd done?
When James started talking to the devil.
But for some reason, Remigius hid him away. But Waleran never knew. Yes, that explains why he really didn't believe you. When you said you had seen James in the fire.
Where James died after all. And Remigius thought no one knew.
We have to find Remigius. He's our witness.
Let's hurry. It's getting dark already. The trial will continue soon.
People know you two. You shouldn't walk around Shiring like that.
He's right.
I'll go look for him.
All right. Take care of yourself. And Jonathan.
Yes?
We will talk later about what was said today. About Tom.
All right. Remigius, now where are you?
Alright. Most people sharing.
No one may approach the pyre.
Why not?
Bishop Henry's orders.
All right.
Do you want to go in, Father?
No, not yet. Thank you.
Are you not with Prior Philip?
Yes, I am.
I pray they'll set him free.
He's a good man.
He is a heretic!
You're fools! Look at yourselves! Who are you to judge a man who has never hurt anyone?
Forgive them, Father.
We don't judge him, but God will!
Have you seen Father Remigius, the Prior of Shiring?
He was here a moment ago.
Where's he now?
What do you want with him? Yeah, what do you want with him?
Oh, forget it. He was here. Remigius? I don't think he's here. Wait. Was that him?
Yes, go get him.
I think I saw him.
Being followed by somebody.
Hello? The door's open. Is anyone there?
You had one task.
By God! No!
Our bishop is very displeased.
No! What are you doing?
I'm doing what is asked of me.
Stop it!
No! Stay away! This does not concern you! No!
Who told you to do this?
No one!
Come on! Push through.
Why did he do this to you?
I will tell you. I will tell everyone.
Cool. Good.
Do you have a witness?
Yeah.
Father Remigius, Prior of Shiring.
Where is Timothy?
What they told you is true. Bishop Waleran wanted the jongleur Jacques Cherbourg dead. He ordered our Prior James to frame him. And so he did.
This is a lie!
Is it?
James lost his mind because of what he did for you. He was about to tell everyone the truth. And then you ordered me to kill him.
Nonsense!
Let him speak.
I couldn't do it. I hit him, but he died in the fire. Jack saw him. It was him. I found the bones after the fire, and I buried them.
You should put an end to this, Henry. You really should.
Why would I?
You should stop this, for your own sake. You knew about all this.
Why would I care if that jongleur lived or died?
Your brother cared. The jongleur survived the sinking of the White Ship. He saw how your brother's men killed the king's family so that he could take the throne.
This is preposterous.
Bishop Henry and King Stephen ordered us to kill the man. You want the truth? That's the truth. Right there.
It is not. Waleran is a liar.
Regan Hamley.
Who is she?
I have waited long enough for this day. It is time I raise my voice. The woman, Ellen, she spoke the truth. 3 men were responsible for the death of the jongleur. James, the Prior of Kingsbridge. The Sheriff, my husband, Percy Hamley. But it was Waleran who was behind it. And only Waleran.
No!
He had heard rumors about the White Ship, about our king. He had hoped to win the king's favor. by hanging an innocent man.
But it was not just me. They all knew.
Take him away.
This is for taking my husband's life.
It was Wailerin!
Oh, we did it! It's over!
Yes, it's over.
Thank you, Lady Hamley.
This monk must learn his lesson.
The Pope would agree. This trial is not over. Philip pleaded not guilty, but he challenged the teachings and the authority of the Church. The ordeal of fire will take place. To show that the Church is not above God. To show that my brother, the King of the English, is not above God. Not we, but God shall judge this man.
This is madness!
No! They can't do this!
Philip! No! You cannot do this!
This is now a matter of the Church, Lady Aliena. My brother, the King, and I accepted the traitor Wailerin into our midst. We were fools and sinners, even if we did not know. I pray that our Lord will save Philip from these flames, for his salvation shall be a salvation for all of us sinners.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us
Light
this
the
day
pyre!
our daily bread.
My God, there must be something we can do!
Stop this madness!
Alright, what's gonna happen in the last chapter?
Ah, Philip.
It is so good to see you, Jonathan.
Tell me, how are things at St. John in the Forest?
Francis is well.
That is wonderful.
Yes, he enjoys the life there. You look worried, Jonathan.
Well, you have a visitor. He just arrived.
Is that not a good thing, Jonathan? Who is it?
That is just it. I wasn't sure if you wanted to see him.
has been a long time.
Ah, yes, it has. I had to know.
Know what?
The truth is, I never saw God. Or the devil. Have you?
Oh Lord, deliver us from evil. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
There must be something we can do.
Stop this
Thy will be done on earth as it is
Are
in
you
heaven.
blind? Do you not know that a fire will burn any man, no matter who he is?
Why are you doing this?
After Waylarin's words, there is doubt in their hearts about my motives, about my brothers. No words can erase that doubt, but God can. Our Lord is a cleansing fire.
He's still alive. It's a miracle. He is among us. God is here.
How is this possible?
It's all a matter of perspective.
We have to stop this!
No, Jack. Come.
My God.
No, but that's what they see. That's what they believe.
The water. It's dousing the flames. It's a trick.
To them, it's a miracle.
The justice of our church. I believe Philip understands that now. His book will be destroyed. If you or your friends ever mention the White Ship again, I promise you will take Prior Philip's place. And God will not be as forgiving.
Their faith in you and your church is restored. I say it was worth sparing that monk's life. Promise me that Waylarin will suffer.
20 years later.
Philip?
Yes?
Did you see God? Did he save you that night?
I told him. He only smiled at me. I never saw him again, as long as I lived.
Philip is back.
Philip!
Philip! We're glad you're back.
Did you walk all the way again?
Just part of it.
Old fool.
Ellen stayed in Kingsbridge, together with Tom. I thought I had lost God, that he did not watch over us. But now I see him every day. He is in the good we do, in how we show our love. Jack's hands had become rough, his hair grey, but his eyes still burned bright like hot coals.
It's good to see you.
Aliena's gaze could be as stern as her father's had been, but her heart and wit made her a leader people did not follow out of fear, but out of respect and loyalty.
Jonathan told us you had a visitor.
Just an old friend.
What do you think of this window?
Jonathan came to look more and more like his father, Tom. As Prior of Kingsbridge, he is also a builder of sorts.
I use mostly warm colours. What good are the large windows if it feels cold?
Sally is as stubborn and as gifted as her parents. It is her stained glass windows the light is falling through. She has children of her own now.
And I'd like to show you the plans for the new cloister.
Tommy will be the next master builder, and is as silent as his grandfather was. Once I heard him admonish his father to be more serious at work. Jack only smiled. He knew Tommy was right. Martha stayed in Kingsbridge as well. She was always there for every one of us.
Is the judge done now?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him yourself?
Is the judge done now?
It will never be done. Not in my lifetime. Not in yours.
Remember us for what we did, for who we were, and maybe for what we tried to be. And when you turn your eyes to our cathedral, maybe you will see yourself.